Yeah, that President Obama is at this point behind a Republican candidate for president among registered voters, and then among people who are not anywhere near as well known as the president. The president is basically at 50% against all the likely Republican first-tier candidates. That's not a good place for the president to be. He should be, who knows who Tim Pawlenty is? Not that many people. Who knows who John Huntsman Jr. is? Not that many people. And for the president to be stuck as this highly visible, 3 years into the term in office, President of the United States stuck at 50% is not a good sign.
Well, I thought the big headline is 47% say there's no way they're going to vote for him again. I mean, that's
this is a third. Yeah, this is the third public poll in that area. Earlier this spring, we had two polls that had the president at only 45% who said, 45% who said they would definitely vote, not vote to reelect him. So somewhere, close to 50% of the American people among registered voters, and I suspect among likely voters, that number may be closer to 50%, even than 47%.
And that makes it almost impossible for the president to win. I mean, although people do change their minds, and history can overtake these polls fairly easily, as we saw in the bin Laden incident. But I think you predicted this on the factor that the bin Laden bounce wasn't going to last, but it was only maybe a week or two and it was gone.
Yeah. Well, in fact, the ABC Washington Post poll is the last of the major polls to be run here. But yes, you're right. The bounce came and went. It looked like it was 6 or 7 points, and it lasted literally a matter of a couple of days. I think one of the reasons was the president took too much onto himself. A president gets more by giving away, by being gracious, by complimenting the military, by complimenting his predecessor, by complimenting our allies. And instead, this was all we and I used interchangeably. And I think that contributed to how quickly
I think it was more about the bad economic numbers and the gas prices, because summer's here and people have got to fill up their tanks, and they're going, this is $70, $80 I'm putting in my tank. What the hell's going on? Yep. A year ago, it was a third of that. And so I think the economy now is really taking on a life of its own, and it's just trampling.
It has in the last couple of weeks with these job numbers, and you're right. People are paying more. Right. People are paying more for everything from the groceries to the
And the stock market the last week or so has been wiping out equity like crazy among everybody. Everybody's going, look, enough's enough here, and they're not hearing anything from the president. They're hearing we got a lot of work to do. Well, that's not enough.
Well, and look, the president's approval rating on the economies in most polls is in the mid-30s. That's not a good place for an incumbent, for an incumbent president to be.